Hello everyone, Caren Glasser here, and welcome to this episode of The Passion Point. This is the show where we follow Passionistas all around the world who are following their passion, making a living, doing what they love. And today we have a guest all the way from across the pond. I think that's how we refer to it, across the pond. Steven Healy. I think that's how we call it. Steven Healy. He's a business video chat show host, so I already love him for that, as well as an Udemy and Skillshare tutor based in Wiltshire. He is the co-author of the book, Live Video Streaming, How to Grow Your Business Online. And he has hosted over 200 live shows. Oh my God, Steven, come on in. Steven Healy, welcome to the show.
Hello, Caren. Thank you for inviting me. It's good to be here, and I'm looking forward to having a fruitful and enjoyable chat.
I'm so excited that you're here. I mean, literally, when I read that you have done over 200 live shows, that's a lot. And even before we went on today, you were telling me you had already done 4 shows, or this was your 4th show. I mean, you are a busy guy.
This is my 4th show today. I enjoy live video. I enjoy talking to people, learning from people, making contacts, and live video is the way to do that. And today's shows were political, the first one, because we've got an election in the UK, and then the Blabbing for Britain show, which has been running for 74 weeks consecutively with 4 people. And then this afternoon was a delightful discussion with Rabia, who is based in Pakistan. So around the globe.
Around the globe, and how fascinating, because I mean, this truly is a definition of how the world becomes very, very small. We are talking to people from all around the world as if they're just in our backyard, right?
Oh, that's right. I mean, the quality of the video and the sound is such that no matter where you are in the world, if you've got a good broadband connection, then you can talk and you can have shows with people around the globe. I mean, you and I are 8 hours apart, and yet we're able to come together and talk, and it's magical.
I really love this. And I kind of talk about, bringing the online offline, and even this I consider offline, because we are taking this relationship, this conversation, this situation out of the social media environment, even though it's playing live on Facebook, but we are having this conversation that others can get involved with. We have people that have joined us. If you have comments, have questions for Steven, make sure you make a comment down there. We're going to put it up on the screen, and I know that Steven will be delighted to answer those questions. So I like to start the show with the definition of passion. And Webster's dictionary says that passion is an intense driving or overmastering feeling or conviction. Steven, how would you define the word passion?
I would agree with that, but passion is when you're doing something that you don't notice time passing. You're enjoying it so much that you get engrossed. You get engrossed in what you're doing. You lose yourself. The outside world, well, the world of video keeps you in the world, but you are actually doing something which is what we're all built to do, which is communicate with each other. And we can do that through live video. So my passion is live video. And I say thank you to Blab for bringing us all together all those months ago, because that's where it all began. Yes. And now we've got BeLive TV. We've come a long way, haven't we? In the last 20 months. We have come a
long way. And that's actually how you and I met, was through BeLive TV, BeLive.tv. We met in the BeLivers group, and we play in the same arena. So this show is really all about you, and we'd like our viewers to get to know you and your journey. How did you get to where you are today? You can go as far back as you want, and tell us a little bit about your journey and what you're doing today.
Right. Okay. How far back do I want to go? I'll go back to being a young accountant at the age of 17, leaving school, going to join an accountancy practice. And for the next 10 years, I was an accountant in practice, in businesses. Then I went on to actually help run a television rental company. And then I discovered computers. And this was the time of the Apple IIe. We're going back, and the Apple, the Apple IIe, followed by the Sirius, followed by the IBM machine and PCs, and then Windows came along.
Right.
And that's when I started to write software, and I wrote software for local businesses, and it used to be hand coding in those days. You'd write in BASIC, and I really enjoyed it. And then along came a product called Borland Delphi, which is, for those who are not initiated, is Pascal, and it's a visual way of designing software. And I learned how to use that, and I developed software 20 years ago, which is still running today. Obviously it's been updated, but it's for manufacturing and distribution. So if you think of manufacturing, where raw materials come in and finished goods go out, software copes with all of that and all the quality certificates you need in between. So you've got the raw materials coming in, they go through a series of processes, they're tracked. At the end of that, they're invoiced and delivered to the customer. That's what the system does, and it does it day in, day out. And that's where I came from. That's accounting, then software, and then 20 months ago, Blab came along, and I was blown away. I found myself, I was watching a show by Phil Aston, who's based in the UK, down in Cornwall. And he was coming towards the end of his show on Blab, and he said, "Does anybody want to join me?" Well, I was hiding. I was away. I was sat in the corner, and I thought, before I knew it, I was on camera, and I was just there as a guest, and I was chatting and talking away. I thought, I like this. This is good. This is brilliant. I mean, we've been through blogging, we've been through Twitter, we've been through posting on Facebook. Now we've got live video, and I thought, this is mine. And so we started our own show on Blab, John Upton and I, which is called Blabbing for Britain, which I mentioned earlier. And then Bob Tomlin, who's become a very good friend, did a show on Blab, which, at my eyes, I think it was back in December 2015. And I thought, this is going to be big. And it's that stage I started to take it seriously. So that's my journey.
So, let's talk about live video, because I'm in 100% agreement with you. I think live video is where it's at. It brings your audience into you, and it brings us out to our audience. And these platforms that we have today, when people ask the question, so how do you record live video, and what platforms do you suggest? We were talking about this earlier. I mean, where do you want me to start, and how long is the list? So I'm not going to ask you that question. I know that you have a lot of favorites that you use. BeLive.tv is one of them. What do you think is about the whole live concept of being live? I mean, I know it's about integration and interaction and getting our guests involved. Why do you think this whole live video is exploding as we watch right now?
I think the key to it is people can get involved. I mean, we've all got a story, and you can come onto live video, you can tell your story, and you can tell it to, first of all, to your friends, and then friends of friends, and you can get them involved, and they become part of the story. That's the key. Yeah. So anybody who's watching now, if you've got any comments or questions, then Caren and I'm willing to take them.
Absolutely.
Can't take the host out to the guest, I'm sorry.
We'll put them down there, because we'll see them and I'll pop them up on the screen.
Yeah. I mean, the key is that it's involvement and getting to know people. And that's the key to it, I think. And live video, we're just at the beginning now. We're pioneers. We're actually using beta software. We're learning, we're improving. Right. And it's a great time to actually be involved, because all the software that we're using today, and we use most days, is actually free. And that people are investing money for us to use the software. And
that's a far cry from where it came from. It is a far cry from where it came from. I remember back in the early 90s, and I was live streaming, truly, believe it or not, I was back in the 90s, and we were bouncing off of big satellites and onto our big, huge, hard drives, and it costs money. It costs a lot of money to do that. And here we are now. We just pick up our phone, or we get on our desktop and we push a button, and here we are. So one of the questions I'm asked all the time, am I too old to do this? Am I just too old to do this? And I say, no, look at us. Here we are. We're doing this.
Indeed. There is the great thing about live video, which I love, is the fact that there are no prejudices towards age, gender, culture, color, religion. They all disappear. I mean, I watch in amazement as Hindu talks to Muslim, Muslim talks to Christian every single day, and the religion is there, but they connect as people. So I don't think that there are any racial barriers to it at all, and I
Right.
don't think that age is a barrier either, because to my way of thinking, you're as young as you feel, and
Amen.
you know,
Amen to that. Yeah. No, I agree. I agree. I mean, there's a lot of us who we play in the social media environment. I mean, we live on our social media. I would be
yeah,
one of those people. And we see a lot of things happening in social media. It's changing the way our world is getting their news or their fake news or whatever news they're getting. But how we consume our information is changing because people put out all this stuff out there, and it's up to us, unfortunately, and I say unfortunately because who has the time to do the research to actually figure out if what we're reading is true or not. I don't know what your opinion on that is, and how easy it is for the world to see something that happened literally a second ago, and how is that affecting what's going on in the world? What do you think?
I think that we've seen a sea change, and Twitter has led the way, first of all in text and now in video. That we've got reporting being made by people who are actually on the spot. Now, it's impossible for the news organizations to have somebody stationed everywhere. They're generally stationed in cities within countries. But for them to reach local isn't possible. We've now got local reports coming in from around the globe. So as soon as something happens, it's on video and it's on YouTube or it's on Facebook or it's on Twitter. And that means that we are part of a global change where we can get to know what's going on around the world in real time. And again, it comes back to the fact that it's free. The other thing is that this may change, but there are no controls over it.
Right.
And I think that's one thing that has to happen. There has to be some filters in some way so that the things that happened on Facebook recently don't recur, and Facebook got to take action about that. But I'm all in agreement with all this change that's taking place because it's fascinating. With the things that you can learn through live video are endless, So yes, count me in.
Yeah, and I'm in agreement with you as well. With some caveats of don't believe everything that you see out there.
Yeah, indeed.
And even though who has the time to do the research, you have to have the time to do the research. So if something looks like it may be too good to be true or too out there, do your homework. Go research it. There's lots of different ways to go research. Go research it and be the voice of reason.
I totally agree because there are so many stories. I mean, especially I know we're going to talk politics per se. In the UK and the US, it's a subject that we don't get into. But there was so much fake news on both sides of the pond during the elections that you didn't know what to believe.
Right.
And it's come to the stage where if you say it often enough, then people will believe it.
Yeah.
And that's very dangerous. And that's something we've got to guard against. But to have the freedom to say what we want in the West is fantastic. I don't want that to change. But as you say, if you see a story and it doesn't look right, then as you say, check it out.
Check it out. Absolutely check it out. So you do a lot of shows. You did 4 before you even came on with me. You do your own shows, your guests on other people's shows. What do you tell people, and I'm going to throw this back to the whole passion thing, that have maybe lost their passion, they don't even know what their passion is anymore. How do we help guide them as mentors maybe, or people that are here in front of audiences all the time? What do we tell them? How do we get them back on the path of following their passion?
Right. I think one of the things we can do is to listen to people. When people don't have a passion, it's because they have something that's blocking that passion. And one of the ways to actually unblock is for somebody to listen to you. So if we can ask not the questions and find the right questions, then we can get people to open up. And once people open up and you listen to them, you find out what they are really interested in, what they want to do, then you can help them go in the right direction. But we all have our own passion. Sometimes we lose it, but by talking to people, you can actually get it back again. Right. But it's about listening. I mean, it goes true of the video world. That I watch as much video as I create, in fact more. And by doing that, I'm listening to people and watching people. And if I see somebody who just needs a little extra help or push, then I'll get involved and move from there. I mean, we can all help each other every day.
Right. And the word listen is so important. I really do think listen is the key, because I don't know how many conversations you get involved in where you literally see their head thinking as you're talking, because they're not listening to you. They're already thinking about how they're going to respond to you.
Oh, yeah. True. That's very true.
Absolutely. So you're doing these shows, and I know you have a YouTube channel, and I'm going to put up how they can search for you there. If you go into YouTube, you can search for BeLive.tv and Steven, and you can see all of these shows that Steven is doing after the fact as well. I know you put them up over there, as well as you do your shows live on Facebook, and I'm going to put that up there as well. It says facebook.com/Steven on live video. That's easy to remember, Steven. Check that out as well. I'm all about quotes, so I'm going to share a quote that I really like. Every day I look for something that will guide me through the day, and today this particular quote, and it's anonymous. I don't know who wrote it. I've searched for it, but here's the quote. Purpose is the reason you journey. Passion is the fire that lights your way. What do you think about that? Do you agree?
I agree. That's a good one to guide by and to go forward. Do you
have any quotes? Do you have any quotes that you like?
No.
It's okay.
Speechless. No, I don't have any quotes. If I was able to answer all the questions, then we do.
Yeah, exactly. What I was going to say is that you, Steven, you're too busy to have quotes. You're so busy, online and doing your interviews. So this is one of these quotes, these questions that I like to ask, and it may sound silly, but I get some amazing answers. If you could spread passion dust anywhere around the world, on anyone, what would you hope to accomplish? Who would you spread the passion dust on? It could be one or it can be many. And what would be your intention that passion dust would provide?
What powers does it have?
Any powers you want to have.
Right. Okay.
The world's your oyster. You just
right. Okay. If in the two particular areas, I would like to spread passion dust so that people. Well, the first area is North Korea. Mm-hmm. The situation is that they are developing nuclear missiles, or the capability, and I would like somebody who has the passion dust to be able to bring that situation to a conclusion peacefully, so that there are no military actions, because at the moment we've got a very dangerous situation there. Right. And I think the second situation, military situation, would be in Syria, where again we actually have had sometimes we go in as countries where angels fear to tread, and Syria is one of those cases, a situation that we help create, and we should help solve it. So I would go for two global conflicts, the one in North Korea and the one in Syria, and hope that both end peacefully and soon.
I heartily agree with that, and we're going to put those intentions out there into the world for anyone that can help us get those passion dust little fairies out there and make sure that we get some movement on that, because what you say is so important, and I'm not making light of it in any way, shape, or form. We live in a very interesting and at sometimes very scary world. So thank you for sharing that. For those of you who want to get in touch with Steven Healy, you can go to his website, stevenjhealy.com. As I said, you can check out his videos over on YouTube. Search for BeLive.tv and then Steven, and then check out his Facebook page, Steven on Live Video. Just put down facebook.com/ and then the rest of it, and you're going to find them there. Any last thoughts that you would like to share with our audience about live video, about the journey that you're on, or just a message to our viewers?
All right. I think the message that I will send out is that live video is the best way to network, the best way to contact new people, make new friends, and renew old acquaintances. And that if you can go on live video, and my advice on that is just do it, Go live on Facebook or live on YouTube or live on Twitter, and talk to people and get them involved in what you're passionate about. Show your knowledge and expertise, share it, and just basically help each other. Simple as that.
And for those of you who are wondering, can you do this too? Can you get on live video? Steven, you have a great course up on Udemy that people can go and actually purchase. What is the name of the class actually called? And I'm going to put it up here.
The Complete Introduction to BeLive.tv. Complete
Introduction to BeLive.tv. So if you go to Udemy.com, correct? Udemy.com.
It is, yeah.
And just check and then search for that. You've got a great program there, great class there that people will learn the ins and outs, how to do this very, very quickly. Basically, you are very patient. You're a very patient teacher, a very patient mentor. Look, even my dogs are coming in to agree with that. Check out that class. You will not be disappointed. And we want to thank all of you. We know that you have a choice as to where you spend your time, and we are grateful that you chose to spend your time with us today. Go on out and give somebody an awesome day. Check out the Passion Point for all these amazing shows that we do with Passionistas from all around the world, and we'll see you next time on the next episode of The Passion Point. Goodbye, everyone.